All right, chat. What a week. So, welcome to another episode of my trade recaps. I try as much as possible. This is something new I just started doing to like drop a recap of my trades I took for the week. All right, and I'm doing them on proper accounts. Okay, so I'm doing them on proper accounts, so it's more transparent and we can see the whole equity and everything from the dashboard in terms of win rates, in terms of wins, losses, and most especially the progress. Okay, so before we dive into it, for everyone to look at the performance for the week, let me just have some psychological talks, all right, on how the week went and trading in general. Okay, so what do we do when we have losing streaks? Because now everybody's posting about wins, 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 wins. You know the strategy, trade this strategy, you're going to have 80% win rate, 100% win rate, never lose money again when you start trading this strategy. You see videos like, I never lost again the moment I understood this and this and that and that. It could be true. I'm not saying they are not, but every trader gets to a point in their career whereby they understand that they must encounter losses. Now, you see, trading is simply a game of probabilities with a combination of law of large numbers. I've said this thing in one of my videos before. Allow me to say it again. It's a combination of probability with the law of large numbers. So let's say out of 100 trades, with given data, not just like from saying or what someone said on YouTube. You've traded that strategy long enough for you to understand that, okay, your win rate is 50%, for example. Now, here's the thing about we human beings. We often think we like to be in control. We want to know when we will win and when we will lose. That is the fundamental problem. So I have a 50% win rate and I'm giving myself maybe 10 tries. Okay, so this account, basically, maybe I'm risking 1%, for example, and then the maximum drawdown of the account is 10%, which means I have 10 tries. We often want to be like the first trade should be a win, the second trade should be a loss, the next trade should be a win, the next trade should be a loss. That kind of balanced ratio. It's not really a game like that. I mean, it could work like that sometimes, but most of the time we can't predict the outcome of the next trade. All you need to know is that out of 10 trades you are going to take, 5 will be losers and 5 will be winners based on your data, 50% win rate. But which one is going to come next, you truly don't know. Your first 3 trades could be wins, and then the next 3 trades are losses. Doesn't mean the strategy is flawed. No, it's not. It simply means it is within your system. Now, here's another thing most traders often experience during trading. Let's say you take a strategy and that strategy has a 50% win rate, but you don't know. You thought maybe the strategy is undefeatable by, it works every time. And then you started trading that strategy. Unknown to you, that strategy has 50% win rate. So you trade it, your first 5 trades are wins. And you're like, oh my God, this strategy is so cool. And then the next 5 trades are losses. You're like, okay, I'm done. This strategy doesn't work again. I mean, I was having wins back to back, back to back, back to back. 5 wins in a row, and all of a sudden, 5 losses in a row. It's not abnormal. That is still a 50% win rate. That is still what the strategy has to offer. It just came in a sequence that made you think that you are untouchable. All right, so this week I pretty had a very, very nasty week. Very, very nasty week. I took streaks of losses. You're going to see my equity curve. Streaks of losses. But I kept trading through the losses until I was able to turn around my equity curve back up, which we will see. So my advice, if you are going through a losing streak, we all have, okay, time and time and time again, okay, there is no, every professional trader goes through it over time. When you are having losing streak, I don't recommend cutting down on risks. Personally, my own opinion, you can say whatever you have to say. I personally don't recommend cutting down your risk. Okay, Start trading your account with a risk you are comfortable with losing multiple times. So don't start an account by risking maybe 2%, and the moment you've taken 3 4 losses in a row, you size down to 1%. You take some losses, you size down to 0.5%. It doesn't make any sense, because the moment your wins will come, it's as if your wins are insignificant. It doesn't do anything. For example, you are risking $100 on a trade, and then your first trades are losses. You've lost $300. Now you size down and you start risking 50, and probably you go for 3R. So you risk 50, and then your next trade is a winner. After losing $300, you made 150 back. Whereas if you had risked the same 100, your next trade, which is a winner, will have given you back your 300 instantly. You're back to break even. So do not cut down on your risk when on losing streak. Best solution: start that account with an amount of risk you're comfortable with taking, stretched until the account blows or until the account passes. All right. The next thing is trade through those losing streak. Stop trying to filter trades. I mean, yes, don't take low quality setups, but stop trying to predict, okay, this next trade should work. This one is not going to work. I'm not going to take it. It gives your conferences execute. All right, execute. Because as you keep trading through those losses, you will eventually catch wins. And as long as your risk is consistent, by the time those wins comes, it sets you back up, all right, to where you're coming from. So what's the third thing you can do? I think that's pretty much those two things. Because if a sailor is traveling on the sea, all right, and then they encounter a storm, which is like the losing streak, they say, oh, let's turn around, we are going back, we can no longer keep going to where we are going, we'll turn around. No, they sail through that storm. Okay, you sail through that losing streak. It's like a storm until you come out of it onto the other side. All right, so now let's go into my broker, it's not my broker, my prop dashboard, so we can literally see my performance for the week. All right, so here we have it. All right, so this is my account here. You can see the balance is seated at 4,900. This is a 5K account. So you see my balance curve, right? Started like this, went down into drawdown, went down a bit straight of line, then went back up break even. Now this was where last week started from here. All right, from here you can see loss, 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 loss. I came very close to breaching this account, and you can see that the slope is, you know, is linear, which means my risk were consistent. It's not like, oh, it's my risk were consistent. You can literally see from the curves here that my risk were consistent. I had this streak of losses from 1 2 3 4 5 6 losses, and then because my risk was consistent, one win took me pretty much back up, and then this is kind of like a break-even trade, sort of. And you can see from close to hitting the maximum drawdown, back up to almost break-even. And then if I enter a winning streak after my losing streak, account might be passed. All right, so that is just it. Let's look at the trade overview here. So if you look at my profits or my trading overview here, you can see basically the account is sitting in a 1.98% drawdown, which is, this is decent. Best trade $201 in profit. Right, that was the highest win I had on this account. And then my highest loss, that's worst trade, is $69. So basically I'm winning way more than I am losing. Total of 12 trades so far. Win ratio is around 25%. That's about 25% win rate. So let's just take a look at my last week trades. I mean, I had like 6 losses in a row thereabouts. So yeah, this is $54 for the $6.60, and those trades that are literally having this extra, because I'm risking 1%, those trades that are having more than $50 risk is based off slippage, I guess. So we can see we have $54 loss, $46 loss, $60 loss, a 201.39 win, and this is a small 21.54. All right, so you can see here This was where the whole losing streak started. I think started from here, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, it started from here. We had the 44, we had the 50. My last win was $96 win. Then we had 52, we had 44, we had 50, negative. And I kept trading through it. We had 54 negative, 46 negative, 60 negative. All right. And then 201 in win and 21 in win. Because so had it been I cut down my losses, I was like, okay, I'm going through a losing streak right now, so I need to reduce my risk. I need to yada yada yada, all those things they tell you. I wouldn't have been able to make this $201 in profit simply because maybe I ended up risking $25 on the trade. I'll just make maybe a $100 win, and that $100 would not cover for the amount of losses I have gone through. So that is it. I'm not going to be showing the setups I took on these trades. If you want to see the setups I took, link in the description. Join the Discord community. You see my trades there for free. So this video doesn't have to be unnecessarily long, right? If you want to see me when I want to enter a trade, I basically post it there. I'm entering the setup, the before and the after, and how I manage my trades is there for free. So if you want to do your check and balance, you can do that there. I'm not going to be showing my setups on YouTube that much all the time. So I see it as a waste of time. Statistics is more important. You can literally see it on the dashboard here. So that speaks. So if you want to see trade breakdowns, how I take my trades, how I exit my trades, then you can see that on the Discord. Okay, so I'll catch you guys next week. And also lastly, I might not be trading this account next week. Yep, I might not be trading this account next week. I bought another 5k account so as to reduce, to ease off the pressure of this account. So as you can see, I've switched to another account. This is a 5k balance. I don't know why it's still showing this equity curve here. It's supposed to change, right? You can see on the trading overview on this 5k account, there is no trades taken yet. You can see. So I'm going to let this account that almost blew, rest, since it's already close to break even, just about 2% in drawdown. And then I'm going to be trading this other one next week. So when I'm bringing my trade recap next week, expect this to be on this 5k account, this fresh one. I just let the other account rest. I'll come back and trade it. That's another thing about prop firm, right? A lot of you use your last card to buy a prop firm account, so you are trading that account from pressure. Okay, you use all your money to buy a 100k account, you use all your money to buy a 50k account, instead of you to have splitted those accounts so that you can trade them. If you are in a losing streak and then you come out of that losing streak, let that account rest, move on to another account, trade down, so that you are not putting so much pressure on one very account. So since I was on a losing streak and then I came out of the losing streak, the simple thing I'm going to do is leave that account, let it rest, trade another account. I might be on a winning streak on that one, pass that one, then come back to this one. You understand? So that there is not much pressure on just one very account. Trading prop firms is very, very different from trading your personal account. All right, that being said, if you enjoyed this whole breakdown, and I know it might sound boring to some people, but that's what true knowledge is about. True knowledge is not interesting. True knowledge is boring. So, but if you still enjoy trades like this, the reality, honesty, transparency about trading, then do me a favor by liking and smashing that subscribe button. And I'll catch you guys in the next very video.